Equals you know that feeling when everything feels like it's closing in? Your jaw clenches at the family dinner, uncle ranting about politics, your fork frozen midway to your mouth. The tension vibrates through your chest, tight and electric. Later, in the conference room, your colleague steals your idea, presenting it as their own. Your hands go cold under the table, a hollow sensation spreading through your chest. You want to speak, but something holds you back. Then, at 2 a.m., scrolling through social media, comparing yourself to perfectly curated lives. Your throat tightens. You draft a comment, then delete it. Your shoulders sink under an invisible weight. These moments, they're more than just uncomfortable experiences. They're invitations. Socrates would lean in, eyes twinkling, and ask, "What are you really experiencing here?" The ancient thinker believed that true wisdom begins with admitting how little we actually know. Not as a defeat, but as a doorway. Each uncomfortable moment is a question waiting to be explored. What triggers your tension? What stories are you telling yourself? Imagine self-knowledge not as a destination, but a continuous journey of questioning. Why does your uncle's political rant make your jaw clench? What fear sits beneath your silence when your colleague takes credit? What comparison are you running from in those late-night scrolling sessions? These philosophers' questions aren't about judgment. They're about understanding. Equals peeling back layers, looking underneath automatic reactions. Not to fix, but to see clearly. What if your discomfort is actually a messenger? Whispering, "Pay attention. There's something here to learn." Can you sit with that uncomfortable feeling long enough to hear what it's trying to tell you? Equals that fear you just felt? It's costing you more than you realize. You're staring at the ceiling at 3 a.m., chest hollow, thoughts racing like a relentless storm. These catastrophizing sessions have become your routine, a nightly ritual of inadequacy that gnaws at your soul. Each racing thought is another brick in the wall of your own making, constructing a prison of unexplored potential. Your work life mirrors this internal chaos. A decade of staying small, watching colleagues advance while you remain frozen. Your expertise never developed, potential calcified into comfortable mediocrity. Sunday evenings arrive with a dread that settles like a heavy weight, pressing down on your shoulders, reminding you of opportunities perpetually postponed. And your relationship? Surface conversations have become your shared language. Authentic self buried deeper with each passing year, intimacy withering like an unwatered plant. The distance between you and your partner grows silently, measured in unspoken words and carefully curated interactions. Socrates would ask, "What don't you know about yourself? Where are you avoiding the hard questions?" Your body knows the truth your mind refuses to acknowledge. The tightness in your chest, the racing heartbeat, the stomach churning with unexpressed potential, these are not random sensations. They are urgent messages from your inner self, demanding examination. Years pass. Equals the person you could have been starts to fade, becoming a ghost of unrealized dreams. Each moment of avoidance compounds, creating a life built on fear rather than curiosity. What if knowing yourself isn't a luxury, but a necessity? What if admitting your ignorance is the first step toward genuine transformation? Your breath catches. Something inside you recognizes this moment could be different. Could be the beginning of truly seeing yourself, of asking the questions that matter. The ceiling watches. Your racing mind pauses. And somewhere between darkness and dawn, a choice emerges. Equals so why do we do this to ourselves? The answer lies in a fundamental misunderstanding. You remember the moment your throat first closed, words swallowed before they could escape. As a child, you learned silence was safer than speaking. Each time you bit back your truth, a small part of you disappeared, not with a dramatic exit, but with a quiet surrender. Your stomach drops now, recognizing this fear in different costumes across your life. The trembling teenager. The apologetic employee. The partner who swallows criticism. Always the same pattern. Self-erasure disguised as politeness, as survival. Socrates would ask, what are you truly afraid of? Not the surface fear, but the deeper current pulling you under. He believed the unexamined life was not worth living, that we must drag our hidden beliefs into the light and interrogate them ruthlessly. You start seeing others trapped in this same invisible cage. Your chest opens with a sudden understanding, this isn't just your story. It's a universal human script, written in fear and performed unconsciously. People around you are silencing themselves, believing their voices don't matter, that safety lies in invisibility. But safety is an illusion. By shrinking yourself, you're not protecting anything, you're slowly suffocating your own potential. Each swallowed word is a small death, each unexpressed truth a wound. The Socratic method demands you question everything. Why do you believe your silence protects you? Equals how do you know? What evidence supports this story you've constructed? Your breath catches. You're beginning to see the mechanism of your own imprisonment, and seeing is the first step toward freedom. Not a dramatic breaking of chains, but a quiet, persistent questioning. Who would you be if you stopped apologizing for existing? Socrates whispers, "Know thyself." And in that knowing, find the courage to speak. Equals now that we understand where this wisdom comes from, let's break down exactly how it works. Know thyself isn't a destination, it's a journey of constant questioning. You feel this most acutely in those vulnerable moments when life strips away your comfortable illusions. Take those first quiet moments after waking, when morning light filters through cool sheets and your mind hasn't yet cluttered itself with notifications and demands. Here, in this liminal space, you can ask, who am I beneath my roles, my defenses? Your breath catches later when your child asks a question that reveals how little you truly understand. Daddy, why do people hurt each other? The question hangs in the air, and suddenly you're not just a parent, but a human confronting your own complexity. Socrates would smile, this is precisely where wisdom begins, admitting what you do not know. Or consider that moment staring at a blank canvas, hands hovering, heart racing. The fear of imperfection paralyzes you. But know thyself whispers, what story are you afraid of telling? What truth trembles beneath your hesitation? Even in medical waiting rooms, when your stomach churns with uncertainty, self-knowledge becomes your anchor. The test results aren't just medical data, they're an invitation to examine your relationship with vulnerability, with mortality. Each scenario demands the same fundamental questions. What am I feeling? Why am I feeling it? What story am I telling myself? This isn't about achieving some perfect self-understanding. It's about staying curious. About treating yourself with the same compassionate inquiry you'd offer a dear friend. About recognizing that the map is not the territory, and your understanding is always incomplete. Socrates knew, true wisdom begins when you can say, I know that I know nothing. And in that humble admission, everything becomes possible. Here's where everything shifts. This isn't just a technique, it's a complete transformation. Your palms are slick with sweat, the pitch meeting looming like an executioner's blade. Every rehearsed line feels brittle, ready to shatter. Your chest tightens, breath shallow and ragged. The script you've memorized starts disintegrating the moment you open your mouth, scattered thoughts racing, heart hammering against your ribs. Then something remarkable happens. You pause. Socrates whispers, what do you truly know right now? Suddenly, you're not fighting the moment, you're present within it. Your breath deepens. The room's energy changes. You start responding, not reacting. Questions replace panic. Your voice becomes clear, curious. The pitch becomes a conversation, not a performance. Chronic pain has been your constant companion, a battle you've been losing. Your body feels like a prison, shoulders heavy with exhaustion, jaw clenched against endless resistance. You've been fighting reality, believing if you just pushed hard enough, the pain would surrender. But this philosopher teaches, acceptance isn't surrender. Your breath softens. You recognize the pain without becoming the pain. An unexpected peace emerges, not from conquering, but from understanding. Your relationship with your body transforms from warfare to witnessing. Your partner's criticism lands like a sharp stone. Historically, you'd raise defensive walls, words sharpening into weapons. Your throat closes, stomach churning with familiar anger. But something has shifted. This time, curiosity replaces combat. Tell me more, you say, and mean it. Your hands, usually clenched, now rest open. You're not agreeing or disagreeing, you're listening. The critique becomes a bridge, not a barrier. Socrates would smile. Know thyself, not through perfection, but through honest examination. Each moment offers a choice, react from habit or respond with awareness. Understanding the shift is one thing. Here's how you practice it, starting today. You begin with radical honesty, the kind that makes your chest tighten and breath catch. Socrates whispered an ancient truth, a life unexamined is not worth living. But how? First, journaling. Not the Instagram perfect kind, but raw questioning. Like the high school teacher, shoulders heavy with others' expectations, who starts writing, why am I exhausted? What expectations are truly mine? Each question peels back another layer. Your hand might tremble. Good. You're excavating. Second, meditation, but not silent emptiness. Active investigation. The artist with frozen hands learns to sit and ask, what story am I telling myself about my creativity? Where did this block originate? Breathe. Listen. The mind wants to reveal its secrets. Take the nurse processing daily trauma. Her heart feels heavy, yet she shows up. Her practice becomes naming emotions precisely. Not just tired, but overwhelmed by witnessing suffering. Specificity transforms. Socratic questioning isn't about answers. It's about better questions. In week 1, expect discomfort. Your ego will resist. Week 2, patterns emerge. Week 3, insights spark. Week 4, transformation begins. Common mistake? Performative self-reflection. This isn't about looking good. It's about seeing clearly. Your body knows before your mind understands. That tightness in your chest? A conversation waiting to happen. Those trembling hands? Equals a narrative wanting release. Your breath? A messenger of truth. Remember, you are both the investigator and the investigated. Approach yourself with curiosity. With tenderness. With the radical belief that understanding begins in admitting how much you do not yet know. Equals once you've practiced these techniques, the next step is weaving them into daily life. At 6 a.m., your coffee ritual becomes more than caffeine, it's a moment of profound questioning. Steam rises from the mug, and you feel warmth spreading through your hands, your mind settling into a gentle interrogation. What assumptions am I carrying today? What beliefs need examining? The workday arrives with its familiar tensions. During a difficult Zoom call, screen glare illuminating the client's demanding expression, you catch yourself. Your jaw tightens, a signal to pause. Instead of reacting, you start asking, what am I truly hearing? What might I not understand? When your micromanaging supervisor begins questioning every detail, email anxiety churning in your stomach, you breathe. Your chest feels tight, but now you recognize this as an opportunity for self-reflection. What am I defending? What story am I telling myself about this interaction? The annual review approaches, a moment that seems to determine everything. Your heart pounds as you rehearse answers, but something has shifted. You're no longer just preparing responses, you're examining the underlying assumptions. What does success really mean? Who defines my worth? By evening, lying in bed, your body releases its accumulated tension. Your mind, once a battlefield of reactive thoughts, now feels quieter. You review the day not with judgment, but with curiosity. Each interaction becomes a question. What did I learn about myself? Where did I grow? This practice isn't about achieving perfection. It's about continuous, compassionate inquiry. You're learning to turn every experience into a dialogue with yourself, gentle, probing, transformative. Your inner landscape becomes a space of exploration, not judgment. This is not perfection, it is direction. Let's bring this full circle. Remember where we started? You were lost, uncertain, trapped in patterns that felt immovable. Through our journey, you've unraveled those knots, family dynamics, career fears, relationship challenges, each moment a chance to examine your deepest assumptions. Now, sitting at that family dinner where tension once ruled, you breathe differently. Your chest opens, no longer constricted by old scripts. When Uncle Mark makes his provocative comment, you don't react. Instead, you pause. Tell me more about why you believe that, you say, your voice steady. Not confrontational. Curious. Socratic. You're listening, truly listening, transforming conflict into connection. Your career fear? That paralyzing doubt that whispered you weren't enough? Your hands, once trembling, now rest calm on the desk. You've recognized that your worth isn't determined by a job title, but by your willingness to learn, to grow. Your stomach no longer churns with anxiety. You're exploring, not proving. In your relationship, authenticity replaces performance. Your jaw, previously clenched with the need to be perfect, now softens. You're showing up as you are, vulnerable, imperfect, real. This is how I feel, you say, your throat releasing years of suppressed truth. Not demanding agreement, just speaking your experience. Socrates whispers, know thyself. But knowing isn't a destination. It's a continuous journey of questioning, of admitting what you don't understand. Each moment an opportunity to examine, to grow. If this opens something in you, subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss a video. Share this with someone who is ready to hear it. Drop a comment below, What insight hit you hardest today? And if you want to go deeper, watch the video appearing on screen right now. Your transformation starts not tomorrow, right now, in this breath, in this choice.